Lauren, I know, I know you've got some involvement with PQA. You're close to this, whole process, and I'm really curious because, previously you were head of stars only, right? Only, right? That's a lot, but you headed up stars and you were very involved in PQA, in helping to shape, some of these measures, I think, right, and very influential and just very involved. Now, your role is expanded, and you're actually over all of the Medicare products at a health plan, much broader role, yet you are still very involved in PQA. So clearly, there's you're seeing some value, right? I assume it's because of the influence you're able to have and just the visibility you have. But can you talk about, I guess, what that's been like, and why you stay so close, why you stay
Sure.
involved?
So I think there's a significant value from a health plan perspective to be engaged with PQA along that measure development timeline and even after it's implemented. There's so many phases that Lisa mentioned that allow for involvement. The initial development of a measure, kind of the think tank of what should come forth in the future. What are maybe health plans looking like? How do you influence what measures might be coming down the pipeline or could be developed? Then that actual development testing of measures. So both what is the denominator? What's an exclusion? What's appropriate clinically? And then taking the data to be able to say, like, this is what we see. Like, this may be an opportunity to improve the measure. And then I think there's a few other areas for that kind of key involvement in plan activity, both with a measure update panel. So allowing influence after a measure has been approved to say, hey, we've had it in testing. It's been here for 2 years. We've all been using it. And this is an opportunity that we're seeing. And to be able to kind of influence that result. And then ultimately, from a QMAP perspective, which is the governing body, over all of those measures to help kind of decide how to move forth and share that expert opinion relative to the development. All of those phases are critical because ultimately, at the end of the day, the PQA measures are used in CMS programs. They're also used in some state Medicaid programs that therefore impact overall plan reimbursement through things like star ratings or potential penalties or other factors. So, having that ability to be able to influence the measure appropriately, but also know what might be coming. Okay, this is something that's being looked at. Opioids are a high priority focus for clinical quality measurement, allows that flexibility to prepare, to engage, to influence, and to partner on kind of that opportunity to see in advance what's forthcoming and what's most critical to practice. I think the one other thing, while we're focused on measures, but I think it's really also key for plans is that testing, and also the grants and the other opportunities that PQA has for kind of that collaboration. There's just such a number of ways to be involved and to influence the process and to be able to prepare best and then ultimately impact patient care at the end of the day, which I think is everyone's goal.